Hello, I'm Stephen Brooks, and this is Tips and Techniques for the Spiritual Practitioner for November 2020, presented by the Spirituality School. And our topic today is going to be Answers for a Trying Time. You know, the ancient Chinese had a curse that said something to the effect of, "May you live in interesting times." You notice I said curse. And 2020 has certainly been some interesting times. So let's face it, in the early spring, late winter, there was the pandemic, COVID-19. In the late spring, we had an economic near collapse. Over the summer, we've had protest and unrest and civil violence. We've led in the late summer to factionalism, which has led to social division. And of course, there's the contentious election that's coming up in a mere couple of weeks, at least from the date of this video. And of course, we have no idea what the rest of this year is going to throw at us. But there are spiritual answers to what's going on and answers for this trying time. So I'd like you to start by thinking about this by giving context to it. Essentially, the context I want you to consider is that you can't know one thing without the other. Meaning, how do you know what black is unless you know what white is? How do you know what cold is unless you know what hot is? How do you know what anything is until you know the opposite or everything else that's involved? You only know something because you've got something that's not that gives you context in order for you to make a decision or a choice about who and what you are and where you stand on it. So in a way, you could actually thank these crisis times for giving you that context. You can't grow without it. You see, we grow best in and through these hardships that we encounter. Because if all we lived in was this perfect little happily ever after bubble, we really wouldn't spiritually grow very much. The dark night of the soul is important. It's part of the spiritual journey. Now, I want you to see in all of these crisis and chaotic times an opportunity for you to define who and what you are in relationship to that situation. Who am I? What am I going to do? Who am I going to be in relationship to this? And that means we're always asking that question, who am I, spiritually speaking? You see, every problem has its own solution, or at least that's what Neville Goddard said. Think about it this way. If you're hungry, the solution is to have food. So how do you deal with this spiritually? You decide that you're going to be a spiritual master, and you're going to bring love, forgiveness, kindness, respect, and you're going to be the change that you wish to see in the world. That is your spiritual tip and technique for this month. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you again next month.